to another Purahome how-to video. Today what we're going to talk about is how to change the HEPA drum on an abatement CAP 600 or 1200 HEPA purifier. Now it doesn't matter what size or what model you have because the HEPA filter is the same in all of these units. In this case what we're going to do first though is we're going to look at the pre-filters in this CAP 1200 system. So we've already shut off the air cleaner. What you're going to do is open the latch. And what we loved, one of the reasons why we loved Abatement is their prefiltration is exceptional. In this case, we have more than 5 inches of prefiltration. Stage 1, 2, and 3. Okay? The stage 3 filter, today we're not going to change it because this filter, it's actually a patented vapor lock filter, 10 times more absorbent than carbon at removing odors. And it's also designed to remove fine particulate, even finer than what the top 2 pre-filters do, to really protect the HEPA. This filter lasts 1 year, so it's going to go back in because it's not due for a change. It's due in 6 months. Meanwhile, filters 1 and 2 are due for a change. Filter 2 is a finer sediment filter, and filter 1 is a coarse fiber trapper. You can see there's some discoloration on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is swap these out. And what I have found too sometimes is that people, in this case it's hard to do it, but in the CAP 600 people have put the filters in the wrong position. You always want to install an abatement pre-filter so that you can read the label. And then airflow is automatically going to be going down properly in the right direction. So we just changed our H502 stage 2 filter. The fiber trapper, as you can see, is very fibrous on one side and there's a supported mesh on the other. Any filter that you install, whether it's a 1-inch furnace filter or a 5-inch furnace filter or a pre-filter in a HEPA system like this, the supported side is always going to be opposite to airflow. Okay? Fibrous side, the fluffier side if you will, is always facing airflow. Now, with the fiber trapper, it's not quite square. It's slightly rectangular. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to install it the wrong way. And you can see that the filter sticks out and that there is a bit of a gap here. So what you're going to do in this case is just rotate the fiber trapper 90 degrees and insert. And now we have a good seal. Okay? Close the top drawer and the safety latch. And now the pre-filters are good for another 6 months. So in 6 months we'll change filter 1 and 2. And then that vapor lock that lasts 12 months is going to be due for a change as well. So now we're going to show you how to change the HEPA filter. So in order to change the HEPA filter, it's important that you unplug the unit, even though there's a safety switch that you're going to see, because there could be a UV light in your system. Okay? So in this case, the unit is off. What you're going to do is with the Phillips screwdriver, the previous generation units had 5 screws in front. The newer generation with the aluminum cabinets that are not painted white, they have 8 screws. So your job will be to take off the 8 screws. Okay, so once you get the last screw out, you're going to see the HEPA system. Now that we have the front cover off of the system, you can see that the HEPA drum is held up in place by a V-shaped bracket, and we form this beautiful seal under the cabinet. And that's why we get 0 particles going out into the system. In this case, you have 2 choices to lower the platform, because we got to lower it so that the HEPA can be pulled out. You can use a 1/2-inch ratchet or an adjustable wrench. And what you want to do to lower this system is with your adjustable wrench, you're going to rotate each bolt counterclockwise, and you'll start to see that the platform is going to lower. What I like to do is alternate between both sides. Instead of just lowering one side completely, alternate between both sides. It's important to note as well that in this case, depending on your model, in this case specifically, that bolt is in the first slot on that metal plate on the bottom. So when we reinstall the HEPA, that bolt has to end up in that first slot again. Some systems, that bolt, depending on when it was made, and if the cabinet is aluminum or white, that bolt can be in slot 2 or 3. So whatever slot that bolt is in, that's where you have to end up re-putting that position so that the HEPA forms a nice tight seal. So I cannot loosen these by hand yet, so what I keep doing is counterclockwise. At some point, you've reduced enough tension that you can lower the platform by hand. Okay, so now we're going to have some play in the HEPA. So you can see I can start to move the HEPA out. And in this case, we have a UV light. So I cannot pull the HEPA out until I disconnect the UV light. Here you can see a set of red and blue wires. That's the connector, and that's attached to the UV light. So what I like to do is it's held in place by a bracket. And just with both hands, I've positioned the bulb so that it's no longer in the top bracket, and I have a bit of wiggle room. I'm going to pull the bulb, being careful not to touch the bulb. This bulb is still good. It's not due for a change until 6 months. And I'm going to slowly toggle back and forth, and you can see the 4-pin connectors. Okay, so this bulb has been pulled out. I'm going to just put it back in, and now there's nothing restricting the HEPA at all. Okay, so now the HEPA is free to get pulled out. So the bracket for the UV bulb is going to get reused, so we take that out as we are going to put the bulb, which is still good, back into the new HEPA. And you can see that the HEPA, in the case of abatement, what's brilliant is it's inside-out airflow, which really makes the system a lot more quiet because the motor is sandwiched in between the HEPA and the 5 inches of prefiltration. Brilliant design. What I want to show you with the new HEPA, where you can see it's significantly cleaner, brand new, white. We love seeing that. This is one of the reasons why we really wanted to become a dealer of abatement technologies. We have so much respect for this manufacturer. They're the only company we know of that third-party certifies their HEPA filters. And HEPA, by definition, is 99.97% efficiency at 0.3 microns. Here you can see when we test our units at 1,000 CFM, so even our 600 CFM units, at 1,000 CFM, we're surpassing HEPA standards. This sets abatement apart from the rest. Not to mention that with Purahome, they've given our customers an exclusive 10-year warranty. Okay, so before we put the HEPA filter back into the air purifier, you can see the bottom bracket for the UV bulb. What I've noticed is sometimes, depending on even the time of year and when they're made, that bottom bracket might be a little more pinched than normal. And the goal is that this cylinder has to fit into that bottom bracket. So what you want to do is, if it is a little tight, just wedge it in, and if you find that it's still too tight, you can spread this apart with a screwdriver, if you will. Let's see what happens with our unit. Okay, so I got it in nicely there. So now the UV bulb is inserted. So now that we've got the UV bulb back into the HEPA, I'm going to install the top bracket. And it just sits in by gravity. Okay, it's just a placeholder, if you will. And I'm going to pop the UV bulb into the top bracket. So it's pretty much plumbed to the HEPA filter, and we're going to get the best possible results with the UV disinfection. So now I can insert the HEPA back into the air purifier. And you just give it a wiggle. Keep in mind you have to take the wire, the connector for the UV bulb, and position it into the center of the HEPA. What I haven't done is the bracket moved on me, so I have to take the HEPA back out and reposition the HEPA. And in this case, the bolts need to be in slot 1. So I'm going to lower it a little bit more. Okay, so now it should go in much easier. I want to take the power supply for the UV bulb and make sure it's accessible by positioning it into the center of the HEPA. And I'm jostling the HEPA back and forth. I've got my bolts in slot 1, and now it's going to get harder because the HEPA is almost fully inserted. And you can see the gasket here is sticking above the metal cabinet. So what I do is, with my opposite hand, I reach in and I slowly tuck in the gasket. And it takes a little bit of wiggle back and forth. And we're almost there. And again, with my far hand, I'm just tucking the gasket so that it fits underneath the cabinet. And then eventually, the whole HEPA is installed and the gasket is not exposed. It's underneath the cabinet. So I'm just going to reposition it a little bit. Okay, so at this point, we're almost done. The HEPA is almost fully inserted. You can see that my platform, this bolt is still in slot 1. And this is very common. This bolt has moved out of slot 1 closer to the front of the unit. That actually makes it easier because it lowers the platform to install the HEPA. So with my far hand, I'm just going to finish tucking the gasket in. Make sure your gasket is underneath the shelf of the system. Okay, so the HEPA is in a good position now. The gasket is completely under the cabinet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, in my case, I did have it lined up properly. You can see that the UV connection has been reestablished. Okay, so now the goal is to get the HEPA filter bracket back into the slot so that the bolt is in slot 1. So usually what you do is with a little bit of force, and sometimes I find a standard screwdriver will help. I just use it for leverage. Okay, and I just forced it back in, and I'm just going to by hand. Now you can see I'm going clockwise. I have forced the bolt into that first slot. Okay? You can see that my other bolt has fallen out of the slot, so this one's going to be a bit harder. So I'm going to use my screwdriver again as leverage, and you can see that I've now forced it into position. And I can lower the bolt by hand. As you lower the bolt, the platform raises and we get that perfect seal here. At this point, I can no longer do things by hand, so I continue to rotate the 1/2-inch bolts clockwise. And as I do that, I alternate from side to side, so I get probably an even better seal. And that's really what the key is to doing this. You don't have to kill this so that it is super tight. You'll feel a point where it won't turn anymore. And at that point, I always like to not put any force. I just use one finger. This will still establish that perfect HEPA seal, and at the same time, in 3 years, if you have a cap 600, or in 2 years with a cap 1200, it's going to be a lot easier to change the HEPA filter again. We've established the electrical connection with the UV. So now what we need to do is take your panel, and you can see that there is a bit of a tab that slides in to the bottom of the system. And a little trick that I have learned is don't put all the screws in tight, just put one in and keep it loose. That gives you play. That way it'll be easier to install the other screws. Another trick is to pull the panel out, and now you can see where the hole is. And that makes it easier as well. Now you can only probably do that for the first 1 or 2 screws, but then it lines up nicely. Once you've got all 5 screws in, just proceed to tighten them as much as possible. There is a gasket under this front panel, so again, you don't have to go super tight. The goal is not to compress that as much as you think you need to, because it will compress it, and it's also going to make it harder to get the panel out in subsequent years. So now that everything has been reinstalled, you're going to plug your unit back in, and you're going to turn it back on. You'll see a switch on the side of the abatement air cleaner, and you also want to make sure that the UV glow indicator turns on. You can see that that UV bulb is definitely on. So our system is back in operation. So in a nutshell, adjustable wrench or 1/2-inch ratchet, Phillips screwdriver. We like to use a standard screwdriver for wedging the bottom bracket back in. Those are the only 3 tools that you need to change a HEPA on an abatement cap 600 or cap 1200. Thank you for watching, and if you ever have any questions, always give us a call or an email.